Hello, dear friends. Something has changed for the better. Haven't you noticed that the feeling of apocalypse has dissipated? Opinion piece, challenges, a difficult journey, political opposition, economic disruption, technical complexity. Bitcoin reaches $93,000. European gas rises by 4%. Trump will negotiate the end of the war. Russia opens to negotiating peace with Ukraine. Donald Trump will create a free online university. Let's start. The path to install heaven on earth is paved with many challenges that escape human understanding, and that is why we must trust in divine providence. We must be very skillful to face the challenges that lie ahead and face difficulties with determination. It will take a lot of skill or cunning to handle or resolve difficult situations. While the goals of the global financial reset are noble, its practical implementation will face formidable obstacles at multiple levels. Achieving the proposed changes would require a level of global cooperation, consensus and coordination unprecedented in history. Any project from conception to completion faces a wide range of challenges demanding innovative solutions and meticulous management. Recognizing these complexities and understanding them is the critical factor if the goal is to be achieved under favorable conditions. Practical challenges to implementing the GSRA program. Achieving a global monetary revaluation will require global cooperation, regulatory oversight, and a commitment to transparency. Without a strong international collaboration, managing equalized monetary values and ensuring a fair distribution of resources would be complex. Challenges include coordination between nations and effective administrative oversight to ensure that funds are distributed fairly and are accessible without corruption or misuse. A sudden increase in available global wealth could lead to inflation, so managing the money supply to avoid economic imbalance would be crucial. Therefore, frameworks would need to be established to oversee and govern this large-scale financial restructuring in order to maintain stability. The Global Economic Security and Reformation Act is a proposal that includes global economic reforms such as the elimination of national debt, the creation of a new asset-backed currency, and changes to the banking system, among other aspects. The implementation of the program includes a change in the global financial system, the cancellation of national and individual debts, resistance against the economic and political elite, the transition to a currency backed by precious metals, and the implementation of global governance. Problems. Global economic challenges are based on economic diversity among countries, resistance from governments and powerful actors, social inequalities, harmonization of international laws, and protection of human rights and individual freedoms, and the risk of hyperinflation and economic destabilization. Many established financial and government institutions will likely resist the radical changes proposed by GSRA. Central banks, for example, would lose much of their power and influence under a new quantum financial system. It would be difficult to achieve the necessary consensus and cooperation among so many powerful actors. Developing, testing, and implementing a global quantum financial system requires a massive and highly sophisticated technological infrastructure with enormous technical and logistical challenges. Debt cancellation and currency revaluation would cause significant short-term economic disruption, even in the long term, if the long-term benefits are positive. It will be very difficult to manage this transition without causing instability or financial panic. In addition, massive legal and regulatory changes will be required in all participating countries. Harmonizing the legal frameworks of so many different nations will be a complex and lengthy process. Many political leaders and interest groups would likely oppose Israel's proposed changes, as they will disrupt existing power structures. Overcoming this opposition will require an unprecedented level of global political consensus. Even with agreement and cooperation, implementing such fundamental changes on a global scale will present enormous logistical and practical challenges. Coordinating the simultaneous transition of so many interconnected systems will be very complex. Economy. Bitcoin hits $93,000. According to Gregory Mannarino, the skyrocketing stock market is a symptom of a deliberate systemic breakdown. Brussels fines Meta for its monopolistic management of advertising on Facebook. European gas rises 4%. Russia could interrupt supplies. Von der Leyen wants to negotiate with Trump the purchase of liquid natural gas to replace the Russian supply. Scotland, the new dream destination for digital nomads. The West imposes a green agenda on developing countries for its own benefit. A Trump effect. Trump says politics is tough and thanks Biden for the orderly transition. Trump hints that he may run for another presidential term. Trump chooses controversial Congressman Matt Gaetz as next Attorney General. Trump names Republican Congressman Mike Waltz as National Security Advisor. Pete Hegseth, Fox News presenter and military veteran, will be the head of the Pentagon. The FBI raids the home of the CEO of Polymarket after a betting platform predicted Trump's victory. Trump plans to veto UK deal to transfer Chagos Islands to Mauritius. The Guardian stops publishing context on social network X. Dystopian books become bestsellers after Trump's re-election. According to Steve Biko, Democrats are attacking President Trump as a dictator. If he weren't strong, I don't think he would have stood up to the deep state or provoked multiple assassination attempts. President Trump announced the plan to create the American Academy, a free online university funded by taxes on university donations. Ukraine. Trump will appoint a special envoy to negotiate an end to the conflicts in Ukraine. The German crisis and Trump's election leave little room for Kiev to prolong the conflict. Russia is open to negotiating peace with Ukraine based on the current reality on the ground. Russia. Trump's arrival could ease some tensions between Russia and the US. Russia plans to increase its manufacturing exports to India by 150% by 2030. Connecting payment systems between Russia and Iran represents a multipolar effort. According to CNN, there is an increase in Russian activity around submarine cables. Russia has plans to explore the moon and deep space. Middle East. Houthis attack U.S. aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. Israel attacks displaced children living in tents. Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of ethnic cleansing in Gaza. The Israeli army will investigate whether it committed war crimes in 16 attacks where hundreds of Gazans died. The US says that Israel is not doing enough to improve the situation in Gaza. Russia backs a UN project to demand an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Russian Mir payment system connects to Iranian Sheta payment system. Turkey breaks relations with Israel says Erdogan. Monumental Gate and 2,000-year-old theater masked scabbard in Turkey. Spain. Thousands evacuated, trains suspended and flooding due to cold snap in Malaga. Red alert deactivated due to heavy rains in Malaga. Citizen anger against Valencia authorities after devastating floods. False volunteers identified who take advantage of the Valencia catastrophe to transport drugs. Spain is the fifth OECD country that received the most permanent legal immigrants in 2023, with 364,100 arrivals. Americas. Chile declares red alert for forest fires in 5 communes. The fire affects more than 300 hectares. Red alert in the Pacific of Costa Rica due to heavy rains. Bukele offers immediate help to Costa Rica for the damages suffered due to heavy rains. The San José de Mulatos volcano, located in northern Colombia, erupts. The Supreme Court of Colombia calls to the ELN to suspend the armed strike due to the rains. Argentina's country risk fell 800 points, the lowest value in 5 years. You are my favorite president, Trump tells Milei in a phone call. A love story begins. Argentina's highest criminal court confirms 6 years in prison for former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. The government of Argentina deregulates the postal mail service. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.